Have you heard the buzz about the Homesteaders Co-op? The free community marketplace for homemade goods where vendors can offer their goods in steam-backed dollars, US dollars, and now bartering and gifting. What is the Homesteaders Co-op? Listen in as the founder of the Homesteaders Co-op has an interview with Ben of the Homestead and Homeschool.
To the Homesteaders Co-op here.
I'll just give a brief introduction how it started. Income opportunities for generating income on the homestead. And actually we've been trying quite a few. Last year we started about 4 or 5 just kind of small businesses just to kind of throw feelers out there. The Co-op was one of them. At the same time, I stumbled across the Steam website I had just signed on to and found that there was this really beautiful homesteading community on there. And so that would be a great place to just kind of do a proof of concept and try out some ideas before going and like building a business and a website. But yeah, so I started blogging, and it was just a really beautiful experience because I was welcomed by this homesteading community and gardening community and permaculture communities on that platform that just really encouraged me to grow a lot in a lot of ways in terms of the way I communicate and communicating more from the heart, which is really beautiful in terms of contrast to our dominant culture, which is like encourage you to communicate from a place of fear and scarcity. After that, I realized, well, I don't really need to create a website. Here's this blogging platform that's where I just feel really part of the community and really encouraged to share. And I'm already being rewarded in cryptocurrency. My partner and I decided to start a seed business focused on permaculture and wildcraft. Working with what we had and the seeds that we were passionate about, we put together a small seed catalog focused on food, medicine, and beauty, and we call it Seeds of Abundance. And sell it for cryptocurrency, for Steam currency, because we felt encouraged by our community, and we felt that the currency was in a lot of ways very idealistic because it's very free. There's no transaction fees. Started working on that website, and I have a background in web design and programming before I got into homesteading. And so I kind of dusted that off and worked on a website and found a way to accept payments with the cryptocurrency. And then my partner said, hey, all this work that you put in there, why don't you share that with other people? And I thought, oh my gosh, that's a beautiful idea, because not only can I share the work I've done and, you know, encourage other people to sell their products in this community format, but also, so I decided to share it. And so went to work on expanding it to be a marketplace for homesteaders. And that's how the idea was born. And then it's actually evolved so much from there. Our vendors are accepting PayPal or credit cards through PayPal. But originally we were just using Steam, and originally it was going to be a business. I was going to charge a monthly fee in order to operate, and I was considering that, or commissions. But then at a certain point around the time we were beta testing, or shortly after that, I had kind of like a problem with charging a fee to the vendors, because it's going to be a while before we have a lot of sales, and I know that's going to be money out of pocket for our vendors, and I know that homesteaders are pretty much on a shoestring budget, so it's kind of like a contradiction. I had a big ethical dilemma early on, and you know, there's that whole part of me that was trained for like greed and profit from a young age that was in contradiction with the ideals of wanting to share something beautiful with a community. For a little bit there, I was in a really tough spot emotionally, and like that I was inspired enough that I would keep working on it and give it away for free without charging commission. And I realized that, you know, I just really wanted to embody sharing this with my friends and community and see where it goes, and just follow the inspiration. And that if one day, you know, I don't find a way to make it work sustainably, then, you know, I can always charge fees later. And so the beautiful thing that came out of that was we didn't have to be a middleman in transactions. So our website is basically a venue, and it creates a venue for customers to find the vendors and to purchase a product once the customer goes through to purchase the product, the transaction goes directly from the customer to the vendor, both with Steam and PayPal. And so we never touch that money. And so it's a lot more private. It's a lot more secure. If our website ever gets hacked, there's not passwords or private keys to be stolen. And so it's basically the vendors and customers take that responsibility on themselves. And I think it's a lot more rewarding and also empowering for people to transact, just like they do in the farmer's market, because when you go to a farmer's market and you buy some veggies from a farmer, there's not the market manager coming in the middle saying, hey, I'll hand that money over and take 3% or whatever before it gets to the vendor.
Acts as a facilitator.
Well, first of all, the website is homesteaderscoop.com. That's just one word, no dashes. homesteaderscoop.com. And check it out because there's some cool stuff on there. And if it's interesting to you, subscribe or come back, and we're going to have more vendors and more products in the future.
Okay.
And if you really find value in it, we do have a crowdfunding page on Fundition. I'd be happy to share the link